up, men, if you're there. Very, very good morning to all of you. Thank you. Thank you for, my new top. Thank you. I rarely wear light pink. It's not a color I use. I normally tend to wear a lot more jewel tones. So, thank you. If you think it's looking nice, thank you so much. All right, let's look at who all are here. Testing time 2022. That is just extra sweet of you to write something like that. Parenting with Prakriti, Diya 463, Stars Love with Shilpi. Puja, everything is twinning. Flowers, cup, your outfit, your energy. Yeah. The flowers and the top I have matched. The rest, everything is by chance. Salvi, hello. Hina, hello. Parenting with Prakriti, love your infectious energy, Puja. Thank you. Healing stories with Khushbu. I will join the March CC. Aja meri jaan, waiting for you. Love Priyanka, Saubana. All right. Life coach Siva Ranjini. Just one question, dear. What to do to be at high vibes and happy? You know, one of the things I do, Siva, is I have something called the joy list. Okay. So we have masculine energy and we have feminine energy. Masculine energy is all about productivity. Feminine energy is all about going after your joy. A lot of times when we are high achievers, we start to look at the feminine list or the joy list as time wasters. It's very important to actually understand that, you know what, these are not time wasters, these are recharge. So like how a phone needs a recharge every day for it to be able to be productive, for 1 hour it needs to be unproductive. The same way, we have to split our life between things that give us joy and things that give us money or our careers or things that we are passionate about or whatever, however, whichever bucket you'd like to put it in. And once you understand that both are important, then what happens is that we then actually go and consciously do things that give us joy. So I wanted to make a list of everything. So for me, it's foot reflexology. For me, I love going and having coffee with my friends, maybe going shopping, sitting and applying nail polish. I'm obsessed with nails, so applying nail polish, I don't know if you can even see. Yeah. So you have to look for what are the things that give you joy. I love watching Pakistani plays, so I tend to spend time doing that. So I have a list of all of those things. And the days when I'm feeling a little down, I take responsibility to fix my own mood. Okay, nobody else needs to come and fix it. I'm going to fix my own mood. What do I need to do for that? And then I'll make a plan with one of my friends to go for breakfast, or I'll tell Puneet, can we do something together? Or I'll get into my swimming pool. One of the things that really relaxes me is my pool. So that helps. So I want you to, do you know what gives you joy? Because one of the things I feel we do is that we land up doing so many productive things. I have to do this for my children, I have to do this for my husband, I have to do this for my house, that we somewhere along the way forget ourselves. And when we forget ourselves and then we wonder why I'm not happy, how will you be happy? Money does not bring happiness. If you don't carry your joy along with the money that you're earning, nothing will change. Only you'll have a better car to cry in, like they say, you know. Indira, you look so pretty and refreshed, ma'am. Thank you, sweetheart. Nishkalai, my husband's angry for small things is disturbing me a lot. He's a nice person. Due to his nature, I cannot get close to him. And Nish, you're absolutely right, because you know what? An unpredictable person makes you feel unsafe. And when you are feeling unsafe, our body and our emotions shut down towards a person where we can't have any predictability. So one of the things in the relationship that is meant to be there is our ability to predict one another, especially in the negative side. So in the positive side, if someone wants to surprise me, I'll be able to handle that. But in the negative side, one day to the same thing, he's appreciative. One day to the same thing, he's angry. One day he comes home all smiling and expects me to smile with him. One day he comes home all upset and is shouting and screaming for no reason. Now that kind of person, of course, you're going to get disturbed. So I think when he's in his good mood, I think it's very important for you to have this conversation that, you know what, I'm getting hurt or I'm getting scared when you behave in this manner. So please tell me, how am I supposed to react? Because you become okay after you vented, but I become shut down after you vented. Now you're expecting me to also become fine. I know you don't mean any bad, but can we have a better way of how you release your anger? Can you express it in a little different way? Like if you can speak a little differently. Tonality in a relationship is literally like the, what would I say, the base of the relationship. People, if we don't develop consciously to speak better tonality wise, our tone, then our relationship is bound to go downwards. You know, there's a man called Gothman, and he runs something called the Gothman Institute. You can look him up on Instagram if you like. And he has the ability to predict whether a relationship will work out or not. 94% of the time he's right. 94% he can predict whether this couple will last or not, right? And over 6 years they did this study and all of that. And he says there are a few very clear things that he's looking at. How a couple deals with each other, whether there's contempt, whether there's defensiveness, whether there's, cold, that we call it stonewalling. So which is that, you know what, okay, you spoke badly to me, now watch, I will not speak to you. So all of these things have an impact, right? How we handle conflict. So my suggestion, whenever he's calmer, see if you can come up with a strategy on what can you say at the time when he's angry that he will calm down, or how can you support and help him in managing. Instead of being against him when he's angry, I want you and him to be against the anger that he tends to develop whenever, some people just haven't yet learned how to manage their emotions. So the only way they know is to just remove it and then they feel fine. So see if you can have some deeper, better conversations with him. Yeah? Hina, what according to you is more important, love or self-respect, and what should be more important? So Hina, in the disguise of love, most of the times a lot of couples are actually hurting one another. Just because I love you, I shouldn't have the right to say whatever I like. And therefore I'm going to say that love without respect is not love at all. Okay, your love for me must put me above you. My love for you must put you above me. If my love is giving me the permission to hurt you in any way, physically, emotionally or whatever, because I love you, I am allowed to, then that love itself is not love. It's something else only. It is, there is a love that actually desires control, and there is a love that allows freedom. So, and again, the love that allows freedom comes with respect. The love that desires control is, if you ever don't act according to me, then I don't love you. I only love you till it is convenient or till it is my way that we are following in the relationship. That's not love. I feel like most of us don't even know the definition of love, right? I remember at one point sitting down with my husband and saying, I don't want to be loved if you can't respect me. Then I would rather we just be friends. If you want to love me, you're going to have to learn to respect me. I need this, and this. You cannot do this, you cannot do this, you cannot do this. And if you can't work through that, then let's maintain our friendship. You're a fabulous person, I'm a fabulous person. We can always be friends. And I think it's very important for telling the person or setting your boundaries very clearly. Otherwise, a lot of time in jokes or in humor or in conflict, they can hurt you so badly that it takes us months sometimes or weeks to recover from it. Yeah. So see if you can start to understand that, you know what, I would rather for some time you be alone, but eventually be with someone who knows how to value you, than be with someone who damages you every day. Awesome. Let's learn with Wrinkle is asking, I have made new stories for all the toxic people and I feel so much better, but I hate the lifestyle and routine of my in-laws, due to which it wastes a lot of time. So what story can I create here? Wrinkle, one of the stories I create is things that I want to learn from others and things that I want to learn, that what I mustn't ever do or mustn't ever become. So I think you can look at the lifestyle and routine of your in-laws and go, you know what, this is God's way of showing me who I don't want to be, or who I don't want to emulate in my routines or whatever. And then you be extra possessive about following the routine you have. If you can in the process learn to respect that, you know what, everyone should have the freedom to live their life their way. And if this is what suits them, please do, but please don't make me do. And the only thing you need to do is you need to ensure that your routine feels different to you. So instead of being busy judging them, in case that's something you're landing up doing, my suggestion, take all of that energy and put it into creating a routine so beautiful that someday they should look at you and say, yaar, ye to iske andar to bahut discipline hai, ye to bahut organized hai na? Hi Ryu0807, hi FitFemi63, testing time 2022, Sad Monica, Geeta Anjali Kukreja, Neha the relationship coach, Abhirami, Vanshika. Alright, I don't know, it just switched off on its own. Sorry about that, I guess everybody's having to re-log in. Hi Nisha, hi Pranali, hello Reena, Revati, Real with Radhika, Millie Jobanputra, Hina Karishma, Pradhanaya, Itisha Srivastava, Kirti Khaira Saubana, Smita AD67, hello, good morning, Asgomati, hello ma'am, Dash Mona Lisa Saubana, so sorry, I don't know what happened, suddenly it just logged out and I wasn't able to log in. Ankita Akshay, let's see what she's asking. Ma'am, please share how to let go of things. I take everything so personally when it comes to my husband or in-laws, and I get so emotional and I end up crying. I'm actually suffering this week a lot. Ankita, my suggestion is work on who you are, work on your highest mission, work on where you want to go, your North Star. Because I feel like in life we always have two opportunities. One is to keep focusing on the people that we love, or one is to focus on who we are becoming. When we focus on who we are becoming, we land up gaining an ability to ignore or to less take personally what else is happening in our environment. I'll give you an example. For the first 10 years in my joint family, my whole focus was on the joint family. So what I would do would be like, if I would serve them also, but then I would get hurt also. I would be fully involved also, but then later on I used to feel like, okay, I'm being taken for granted also. So there was a lot of emotional conversation that was happening. And then at some point in 2010 or something, I decided to become a coach and I started to fly to America. And I for some time started to work on me. And can I tell you, when I started to work on me, one of my biggest realizations was, how do we have the confidence to believe that we can change other people where we barely can change ourselves? So that was one of my biggest realizations, that when I put an alarm for 6:30 in the morning, it's not for sure that I'll wake up at 6:30 in the morning. When I can't control me, where am I thinking that by telling someone else I'll be able to make them wake up at 6:30, or by telling someone else they will change the way they speak to me, or by telling someone else they will do things that I want done according to me. So I'm just asking you, can you for the year of 2024 make it all about yourself, okay? So earlier on, when we used to be going on a family holiday, it was like, you know, how are we going to behave with one another? At some point, I started to treat the family holiday like a test. Can I be my best self no matter what? And I can tell you, when I started to focus on me, my entire focus shifted from what other people were saying, what other people were doing, why are they behaving like this? And when all of that changed, everything changed. So I'm going to suggest to you that, you know what, for some time, see if you can go inwards rather than external. For some time, see if you can be stronger in your response. For some time, if you can say, you know what, I normally would cry at this, but today I'm going to let it go. And you're asking me how to let go? When your focus shifts, your ability to let go becomes easier. Right now, your expectations are not being matched by the family that you've come into. But what if you had to redesign your expectation, where you bring in also an element of yourself for you to see how difficult it is for you to do things. Where are you expecting someone else will change because of your needs and desires? Okay, and once we realize, oh my God, look at me. I remember at one point, Puneet and I going on holidays. We used to do these 2-night holidays to Goa, to any place close by, Pondicherry. And I remember at one point saying, you know what, I'm going to do the whole 2.5 days without a single conflict. And having said that, still 3-4 times I remember coming back with this, maybe a big fight in the beginning and then a smaller fight and then a smaller fight. But I remember not being able to control myself. And I said, how little a control I have on myself. I can't manage 2.5 days without fighting. Something about him will irritate me and I will blast. And then over time, I've realized now it will be sometimes 6 months before Puneet and I have even had an argument, forget fight. And I'll be like, oh my God, how much we have evolved. You know why? Not because I was waiting for him to change, but because somewhere along the way, my responses, my tonality, my ability to communicate better, who did I work on? Me. And I can tell you, Ankita, you start to work on yourself for the first 1 year, it will be very, very hard. You will feel like only I have to do the work. Nobody else needs to do anything. But you know what? As your frequency, your vibe, your energy changes, you're going to see a completely different response from the opposite person. It is crazy when we change how the other person starts to change. We think they have to change for us to change, otherwise they will not change, they'll take us more for granted. Not true. So I'm going to ask you to focus on your life, and rather one of the things I would suggest to every woman is do not make your spouse the North Star of your life. You know what that means? Do not make your spouse the center of your world. You know, first we women don't say yes, and when we say yes, we give in everything that we have. We love fully and completely, which is such a gorgeous thing, but it's not necessary the other person is ready to receive us at the level we can love. See, women are emotional. We can really love. But men love so much differently than us. And I think once we understand that, you know what, it's not that they don't love us, it's just that they love differently. And I believe that because now my focus is my work, because my focus is I'm so much more balanced with my spouse, because he's not the center of my world. When I made him the center, every sentence of hit used to come and hit like an arrow in my heart. उसने ऐसे कैसे बोल दिया? मैं जो उसके लिए सब कुछ करती हूँ, उसने कैसे ऐसे बोल दिया? You know, it used to hurt me so badly. Today I feel like, you know what? उसने बोल दिया तो बोल दिया. पूजा तुझे 3 appointments है, तो अपनी appointments खत्म कर, फिर उससे बात करियो. जब तक those 3 appointments get over, I'm kind of like reached a place where I'm like, I don't even know if it needs a discussion. I remember one of my teachers saying, Puja, if you're not going to remember it in 5 years, are you sure you want to waste your 5 minutes on it? And I was like, yeah, okay, fine. And I think, see how you can use it. It's not going to be easy, but it's a journey you can definitely begin. Badam Bhargav, how to handle depression and also how to build a new life. You know what, a lot of times our depression is connected to the lifestyle that we are living. So as you design your new life, automatically you will start to come out of depression. So look at every area of your life. What is happening in health? Can you work out for 1 hour? Today there's a direct science that connects movement of our body to depression. There's a new TED talk by this monk. I'd just love for you to look it up. And he speaks so beautifully. He said 100 years ago there was no depression because there was not the luxury of being able to sit the whole day without anything. You had to go fetch water, you had to go get your food, you had to go. There were things God created for us to be able to do, and because we had to do, we couldn't get depressed. Today, if the whole day you're sitting on the sofa, you can Swiggy your food, you can make it so easy for yourself. So depression is a lot more because we have the luxury of depression. Now, I'm not talking about clinical depression. That, of course, is a chemical locha that needs to be handled by a proper psychiatrist. I'm just talking about the day-to-day depression that has come into our life, which is we are just not able to experience joy at the level we could earlier. If that is your issue, then building this whole new life, I mean, my company is called Life by Design, so who better than me to answer this question in terms of that, you know what, that one of the things I would love for you to start to do is first take 100% responsibility of your life. Okay? Start to look at what are you waiting for and what are you willing to do for yourself. Then start to get clarity. There's something I do, the called the passion test. You can Google it and do the passion test. I highly recommend. When you know the things that are important to you and give you joy, it makes all the difference, right? Then look at how is your resistance stopping you. What are those sentences that the devil inside is going on saying? Maybe it's saying you're not good enough, maybe creating fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of, so many things that keep coming up and showing up in our life. True? So I'd love for you to sit and work with that. The next is, do you have clarity of your goals for 2024? If I had to ask you, what are going to be your top 3 goals? What are those top 3 things that if you achieve, you will feel like life is going to change? For example, I want to start to earn dash amount per month. For example, I would love to improve my skill set. Or I may want to work on my health. Or I may want to find a beautiful wife. Or I may want to find a beautiful or a wonderful house. I don't know what your goals are, but see if you can write out your goals. Make them bit more than realistic, but not impossible. So if something is feeling impossible, no, that's not the kind of goal. First, I want you to write goals to be able to actually garner. First I would like you to write goals for you to be able to garner confidence. So stretch goals are the goals I like, okay? So realistically, I'm able to lose, let's say, 2 kilos a month. I'm going to say 3. Okay, 3 is a nice challenge, but it's not impossible. So like that, I'd love for you to set goals, something that you think you can do, and then stretch it slightly or mildly. Yeah, you think you can do that? Fabulous. And then you move into the conversations you're having with yourself. Affirmations and visualizations. What are you going on telling yourself? One of the things I see, especially for depressed people, is they tend to complain a lot, blame a lot, and connect pain to all the good things, which means, हाय जिम जाना पड़ेगा, हाय उठ के काम करना पड़ेगा, हाय ये भी करना है, हाय वो भी करना है. When we keep connecting pain to all the important actions, then you know what? Everything feels stressful. Everything feels hard. And when things feel hard, then we go back to our sofa and say, नहीं हो रहा. Nahi hoga, right? So every single morning, if you can come up with a morning routine which helps you set an affirmation or a visualization of how would I like my perfect day to look like. And in that, imagine yourself doing things with joy. Every day, visualize, okay, today I'm going to do my Insta Live. I'm going to do it with so much fun. God bless me to be able to help others in the journey. And let me make sure that, someone gets their answer. Someone who's lost gets their answer, right? So like that, if you can set intention for your perfect day. And then last but not the least, everyday measure action. Which means, did I do those 1, 2 or 3 things? There's a lovely book by Brian Tracy called Eat That Frog. He talks about why we have to do the most important thing by noon every day. So do you know in a day which is your most important thing, and can you ensure that you get it done by 12 o'clock? Yeah? So 100% responsibility, then clarity, beating your resistance, setting your goals, affirmation and visualization, taking action. You get these 6 steps done, you will be able to design your life so wonderfully. I can tell you, I have done this for the last 13 years and every year has only been better than the previous because I'm so intentional about designing. And the more I've designed my life, automatically it has been so easy to come out of the sadness and the depression that tends to loom or tends to take over when we are not going towards our best life. When we are not going towards our best life, we get stuck in addictions. So distractions and addictions become our life because we are going to look for happiness. Human beings are going to look for happiness, and if we don't have the ultimate happiness, then we'll just go with the artificial happiness. And what is artificial happiness? Drinking, smoking, binge watching, porn. All of this comes under artificial happiness because we don't have the courage to walk our highest path. So we keep getting stuck in our addictions and distractions. Okay? From where in US have you done your course? Sapna Singh is asking. Sapna, I have a beautiful teacher called Jack Canfield. He's the person who's written Chicken Soup for the Soul, and I studied under him for about almost close to 2 years learning all of this. After which, of course, this is back in 2010, after which I've gone for courses after courses after courses. I call myself the most educated person in the self-help industry in India. That's the number of courses I've done. I think more than 24 courses I have traveled. I loved traveling and I loved learning. And because I didn't get to go to college, I got married at the age of 18. I have been now traveling the world, learning. I am more student than teacher, to be very honest. So look up Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul. He does the most phenomenal programs. Neha, I want to be an environmentalist and also want to earn money in this sector but don't know how. I really want to make people aware about climate change. Neha, this is such a hot topic that everyone's talking about it. I think our generation and the generation previous to us did not have the kind of awareness that my children today have. Like, I see my children, whenever I'll tell them I want to go on a cruise, they're like, Mom, you know how bad that is for the oceans. Or if I speak to them about something that I'm not aware of, they'll be like, you know, Mom, how bad that is for, if I by chance leave my lights on or my tap for when I'm brushing my teeth, they'll be like, Mom, you can't do this. So I just love it that today's youngsters are so highly aware of the shoulds and the should nots. And I think that this topic really needs conversation, and the more we talk about it, the more educated everyone will get. So I'm completely with you, Neha. Figure out which, like, it is such an umbrella thing, right? It's like, I speak about becoming a life coach, but in life coach there are 100 different ways you can help people. You can help people in career, you can help people in relationship, you can help people in divorce, you can help people in parenting, you can help people in confidence, you can help people in business, you can help people in so I think once you decide that you want to help people with the awareness around climate, you have to then go deeper to see what in climate is what's interesting you, and then go deeper in that, and the deeper you will keep going, the more money you will be able to make through it. Yeah. Okay, this is going to be a little bit of a challenge because the questions are so tiny for me on the phone, but I'm going to try anyway. Nagalakshmi is asking how to accept the fact that your profession pays you less and makes you work for 10 hours and 2 hours of travel. Nagalakshmi, I like how you say your profession, okay? It's a choice, darling, that you have made. My suggestion to you, have the courage to work on your skill set for the next 6 months and make sure you take up a new job that can actually ensure that neither you work for 10 hours and nor do you travel for 2. Okay, so you need to change this, and whose hand is it to change this? Yours. So I feel like what you're doing is you're blaming your profession. I feel like you need to work through your skill set. Normally, the more power we want to have over our profession, the better we need to be at the profession. So I'm going to suggest to you to go on a 700-day journey of, while you are doing whatever you need to do to make the money, I want you to continuously extra hours after work, on Saturday, Sunday, whenever you can, find extra hours to work on your skill set. The stronger you become in your skill set, the stronger you will have a command over being able to ask for what you want rather than they deciding. Like, I always give Priyanka Chopra's example that in the beginning she did movies that she may not today be the most proud of, very B grade, very average movies, but she kept working on her skill set. Today she commands the world to give her the work she wants, so I feel like we all go from B to A in our journey. Every master was once a disaster, and then slowly they reach up. So I want you to do the same. Yes, sweetheart? Revati, ma'am, some time back you had spoken about a book that you will be taking a class on that in December. Yes, I am, but in January, so we will keep you informed. Today I have very, very good news for everybody. Tomorrow I will be releasing my vision board video, which I had used last year and done a live session for my entire tribe on Instagram. So we will put the link in my story tomorrow and on my Instagram wall. Do they call it wall? Page, whatever you call it. And the video will be, of course, uploaded on YouTube. So we'll share the link with you, and then all you need to do is, I think it's about 1 hour, 11 minutes or something. Go watch it, create your vision board, take a picture of your vision board and tag me, okay? The top 3 people who tag me with their most beautiful vision boards are going to get a very, very special prize. What that special prize is going to be absolutely amazing. So don't miss it under any circumstances, okay? Barsha, what is confidence according to you? I don't know if it's according to me, but it's a definition I had heard that I had fallen in love with, which was confidence is not that I can handle or I can do it. Confidence is that I can handle it if things go wrong. So I had loved this definition of confidence, that you know what, a lot of times we feel like we have to wait to be perfect at something to do it, because that's what will give you confidence. The real truth is just do it, and whatever goes wrong, handle it. Am I not handling my Insta live every 15 minutes going off? Right? So the confidence comes from the fact that जो भी होगा ना मैं manage कर लूंगी. Even in relationships, I say, it is not that you pray that my husband or spouse never cheats on me. It is that you make yourself strong enough and smart enough and capable enough that if ever that happens, I will be able to handle myself. So I think for me, confidence is not that life will not go wrong, or not that things will not go wrong, but that when things will go wrong, I will manage. I really like this definition of confidence personally, because I feel like too many people think confidence means it will be perfect. That the day I'm confident, it's going to be awesome. Not true. No matter how confident you are, life keeps happening along and things keep going wrong. तुम एक चीज ठीक करते हो, एक चीज खराब हो जाती है. तुम करियर ठीक करते हो, हेल्थ खराब हो जाता है. हेल्थ ठीक करते हो, रिलेशनशिप पुअर हो जाता है. And you have to constantly keep working at it all your life through. You know, so I think that to me is confidence, that knowing that you know what, कर लूंगी मैं किसी भी तरह कुछ करके जुगाड़ करके मैं कर लूंगी. You know. Ritu Bhardwaj, my husband's happiness is in boozing. If I stop him, he gets angry. I think he's living a very unhealthy lifestyle. What to do? Ritu, find out how much boozing is he doing. And it all depends. If it has already turned into an addiction and it is enveloped his life and there's nothing else he can do but boozing, then of course it's an issue for sure, right? So you then need a doctor, you need an external intervention. This is not going to be possible by you saying कि आपको छोड़ देनी चाहिए and him leaving it for 2 days and then restarting and then leaving and then restarting, depending on what is his level. Sometimes we women are reacting to someone drinking because we are not okay with them drinking, but all they're doing is every evening they're having 1 or 2 drinks. 1 or 2 drinks is not an addiction. It can turn into one, but it's not yet. So if it is not an addiction, he can completely work the whole day, operate his life clearly, be an excellent father and all of that. And the only thing it's impacting is that it's just an unhealthy way to be. Then it's a very different conversation, okay? One is a habit out of choice and one is where it starts to control him. I don't know at what level he is, but either which ways, in one, you can sit and have conversations about the unhealthiness of this kind of drinking. In the other, there is no adjustment to it. If your husband is an alcoholic, then you need help. You need to contact his parents, you need to contact yours, because all of that will overflow into life. And today there are beautiful groups like Alcohol Anonymous, and I mean in India they are running fabulous, they do some fabulous work. There are a lot of de-addiction centers, there are a lot of detox centers that you can go to. So maybe you will have to for 3 to 6 months dedicate your life to help him get out of it. First to convince him to get out of it and then help him get out of it. But I don't know at what level he is, okay? Bhargavi Arjun, totally loved the weekend coaching mastery sessions. It was mind-blowing. Bhargavi, so nice of you to come and join them for the 2 days. It was so lovely. I really enjoyed the weekend myself. Oh, Gamya is also here. Please suggest 3 books that everyone should read compulsory to improve ourselves and change our mind to set to positive thinking. You know, Gamya, my observation is that the first few books that you read actually have the maximum impact. See, after all, at the end of the day, we are all saying the same thing. All the teachers, just the packaging changes. Whether you hear a spiritual teacher like Sadhguru or Sister Shivani, or you hear coaches like me, Jack, me, Brian, all of the people, Rajiv, Siddharth, Bhai, Meghna, Savan, all of them. So, you know what? I believe that where you got your first set of information becomes your favorite books. So I have this book called The Ant and the Elephant. A book that I love because that's the first book I read to realize this work, right? And then another book that I absolutely love is called The Success Principles by Jack Canfield. I feel like that was one of those life-changing books for me. There's a book called The One Thing, another very deeply impacting book. Now it depends on which, what you need. Eat That Frog, like I said, is a beautiful book on productivity. Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert is a beautiful book on creative genius. So for those of you who are creating people, like I create courses, somebody could create art, somebody can create interiors. So if you're a creative person and you need to download God's visions, so then that is a very, very nice book for that. So again, I've read over 500-600 books by now, so you can imagine what a plethora of range of books I must have gone through. I'm going to share my top 10 books with you on my stories today. So Team Life by Design, can I please request you to share my top 10 books, my favorite. I think this list I had made about 4-5 years ago, so it's slightly outdated. But I also have my list of 51 books that should be read in 2023. Let me see if I can get it from somewhere and put it here. But I'm definitely sharing my top 10 for you, Gamya. Dr. Reena, how should I take care of my desperation energy, especially when I'm practicing law of attraction, especially with my health? I lose some weight and later yo-yo back to my previous weight. I just don't like this. Reena, I would have been able to help you with this if I myself had overcome it. Okay, so I am also someone who yo-yos those 3 kilos here and there all the time. Honestly speaking, there are a few things I've done that have worked for me. I'm giving you this advice with a lot of apprehension because I'm not 100% sure whether I am the right person to be asking this question. You know, I have a super disciplined household, from my mother-in-law to both my brother-in-laws to my husband to both my sister-in-laws. All 6 of them go gym every day. They go for a walk every day. They eat only healthy. They are just phenomenal to another level. And then there is me in this house, okay? So I just feel like where I'm sitting, I'm no one to speak. Yet, having said that, I will tell you a few things that I've done. One, I have become very body positive. So I have started to love myself a lot more, and I have started to say this sentence that if for the rest of my life my biggest issue is going to be these 3 to 5 kilos, then God ji, let this only be my life's biggest problem. Don't send any other problems. This problem I will handle myself, okay? Even if I don't land up losing these 3 to 5 kilos, I will love who I am. I will be, okay with it, because I remember at one point I had started to get deeply depressed with my size. Especially earlier on, I used to tuck in my shirts, I used to wear belts, I used to, do all the clothes, especially clothes. I'm very fond of good clothes, and that became very upsetting for me that I couldn't wear what I used to love wearing earlier on, right? So the first thing, become more body positive, which means no matter what, love yourself for the shape and size that you are. And that in itself removes a lot of the negativity that we carry, because a lot of our negativity comes from believing that a woman's looks are her highest currency. That's the second thought I want you to change. You know, we live in a world of patriarchy where men have made women's looks so important that a man's bank balance and a woman's look are normally their currency. But if you can build a personality above your looks, then your looks, as you age, you won't remain desperate for how you look. Okay, so I'm just guessing that losing weight, one of the reasons is also how you look or how you appear. And of course, you've also mentioned that your health is an issue, right? So both of these, if you want to manage, I would suggest that from now onwards, start to build a personality that is even more beautiful than the appearance that is there. Now coming to health. When health starts to suffer, you need to start to look at who do you want to be 10 years from now. So I have this whole way of operating where I go, okay, on my 50th birthday, I'm about 7 years away from my 50th birthday. And on my 50th birthday, I want to be able to hike up this mountain. I want to be able to run a marathon. I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to work on, and all of that will automatically have an impact on my health also, right? So I have all of these goals, and every year I'm trying to achieve one, so that I'm not, if I'm able to just get up without putting my hands down itself is a very big deal for me right now. So again, like I said, I'm not the perfect person to be answering this, But I just want you to know that in the world that we live in right now is over connecting this concept of weight. Unless it's impacting your health, which you are saying it is, and I don't know how much overweight you are, but you know what? Some of us at 5 kilos or 10 kilos or 7 kilos are reacting as if we are 20-30 kilos above weight, right? And I think we are making ourselves very, very depressed with having everything else right and this one thing not being right, and we're going on focusing on it. So while you may not want to hear this, sometimes actually, you know what, not looking at your weight for some time is a beautiful gift you can give to yourself and start to be grateful for other things in life. At least that's what I've started to do now. I have stopped the whole weight loss conversation with myself because I feel like it was bringing me down, and I have started to say, you know what, if this is my life's biggest challenge, so be it. So work on your health, not on your weight. Okay, and that's one thing I say, that while this house may be very, very fit, I am very, very healthy. Okay, the one thing I can say is I don't have any health issues. I'd love for you to start to eat healthier, eat better for your health. Remember, weight loss food versus healthy food are two different foods. Okay, we have to leave fruits, we have to leave nuts. If you start to do calorie counting, we have to leave all the good stuff for us to be able to lose weight. Don't focus on weight. For some time, focus on health. You will get your health back. You will see yourself so much better in your energy. At that point, you can bring in weight if you want. See if any of this helps you, my darling. Thank you. Ma'am, I'm loving seeing you. So sweet. Thank you. Life coach Silpi, how to handle when your coach is judging you, blaming you if I am confused in my work. Shilpi, change the coach. A doctor is not supposed to judge your ailments. A coach is not supposed to judge your personality. So if you have a coach that is judging you, you need to change the coach, my sweetheart. You're with the wrong person. Any coach that is judging is not a coach at all. They are doing some other thing only. We shouldn't call it coaching. I always say this to all my coaches. If the person could have done it by themselves, they would have done it by themselves. They didn't need to pay you. If they are paying you, then you have to understand that there is something missing. No, that's why they've come to you. Now, when they are saying something is missing, you start to blame them and you start to discourage them. Then why did they come to you? To hear one more person to be added in their life to tell them that they are not amazing? No. Your coach is meant to be your biggest cheerleader. If your coach is not making you feel like the queen of the world, please change your coach. Bhavna, what is the scope of becoming a coach in small towns? Will I be able to make money? I have apprehensions. You know, Bhavna, the beauty of today's world is that the small town, the big town and everywhere else, the awareness thanks to social media is all the same. So your ability to tap into my Insta Live versus someone sitting in New York or someone sitting in Delhi to tap into my Insta Live is equal. So when the opportunities of the world become equal, the thing is the awareness in the small towns becomes equal to the awareness of a big town. Today you go to Ludhiana, I actually think they were even more branded, more smarter, more amazing clothes than even what big cities are wearing. Okay, so I do not think the differentiation that used to exist till 10 years ago now exists, because the exposure has become so huge that everyone has everything in the world now. So whether you can become a coach in a small town, absolutely. And you know what the beauty will be? You will be the first and you will be the pioneer, because you started when no one else was there. This is my promise to you, Bhavna. You start within 1 year, you will see 5 new coaching people starting because of you. You know, when I started becoming a life coach in Chennai, I did not know another single life coach. Today, there are hundreds. But you know what the beauty is? I started when there was no one, when people didn't even know the description of life coaching. At that point, I could have said, But Madras or Chennai doesn't really have a market. There isn't even one life coach. You know what I said? So I know this Bata story. I don't know if you've heard the Bata story of a salesman goes to Africa and writes back to his boss saying that we don't have a market here because no one is wearing shoes. The next month, another salesman goes to Africa and he writes, oh my God, this is going to be our biggest market because no one is wearing shoes. So it all depends, Bhavna, how you are looking at your small town. Are you looking at them as an opportunity, or are you looking at it as, oh, I'll have to build and educate people before they start buying? What a freaking advantage. Okay, so highly encourage, because you know what? 2 years from now, whether you do it or not, someone else will. And at that time, you will look at that person when they'll be doing so well and say, I had the same opportunity, but I thought it won't do well in my town. I don't want you to live in regret. I would rather you live in hard work and action for some time till you are able to become the best coaching service that your small town has. Yeah. Oh, so sweet. You look so young, ma'am, and so cute. Love to listen to you every day. Thank you, Preeti. Vandana, I just lost my job. My husband wants me to search another job for finance. Troubles not to arrive, but I am tired. It's been 14 years working and I just want to relax, and my husband says to aram kar in anger. Vandana, everyone should have the opportunity to take a little rest. You've been working for 14 years. You can go back to apply in 3 months when you start to get bored or this thing. But you know what? This is such a beautiful period of recharge. So my suggestion, keep applying. But you know what? Get yourself fully ready. Maybe you can, do the base work of looking for a job, but don't really look for a job, so that he doesn't feel like you're totally doing aram se. And maybe you can let him know, okay, I want to go back to work only by March. If he sees you indefinitely relaxing, maybe he will get a little irritated or frustrated. But if he knows that it's only next 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, maybe by having a better conversation with him, you can come up with a plan कि मेरे पास इतना पैसा जुड़ा हुआ है, मेरे पास इतना है, तो मैं इतना मैनेज कर सकती हूँ कि मैं अगले 6 महीने घर में बैठ सकती हूँ. Something like that. Yeah. All the very best. Don't feel guilty. People around you will make you feel guilty, but you know what? You've done your share. I say even lifetime imprisonment is 14 years. Even Ramji's Banvas was 14 years. उसके बाद सबको एक break चाहिए होती है यार. 14 years के बाद you totally deserve it. देखो कैसे आप manage कर सकती हो. Okay? Oh, how lovely. Oh, so sweet. She'll be saying, I did that. I chucked my judging coach and I joined you, Puja. Smart girl. What can I say? Please answer my question. I need to deal with a narcissistic, disrespectful, hurtful husband. Where can I get your book from? Parul, a narcissistic husband, if confirmed is a narcissist, can I tell you the only thing you can do is ignore. We cannot change a narcissist. He thrives on sucking your blood. You know that already. No matter what you do, he can convince you were wrong. So the only way to handle him is to go on a journey so beautiful where you become capable of ignoring. If you still want to continue to live with him, that's a choice you have to make. But build your life so fabulously that it should be a choice and not a necessity. Anybody married to a narcissist, my only one advice to you, spend the next 2 years ignoring him and building your life, because you know what? You're going to need all of the strength and all of the power for you to manage a beautiful life. Otherwise, he will take over and make you feel like a rubbish and keep damaging your self-esteem every day. I mean, you know who you used to be and who you are just with the couple of years that you've spent with him. And like this, you're going to deteriorate. If you think that his words don't matter, they definitely matter. Otherwise, we would all be easily living with such people, right? He is toxicity at its highest, and you need to come up with a plan. And normally my plan is 700 days to become having your own identity and becoming financially free, after which there is a choice. Okay? What is your secret of looking so young? A beautiful filter. Honestly, Instagram is so complimenting. Your skin looks flawless, your hair looks gorgeous. So I'm just, I don't know. I'm someone who's starting to really believe that women are doing a disservice to women if we don't age gracefully. Aging has become such a problem that either we have sagging skin or we are going and filling it up with Botox and fillers. Both is not okay, right? Nobody loves the sagging skin. Nobody loves the extra plasticky face. So women who are filling their face up with plastic are getting criticism. Women who are aging naturally are getting criticism for, hey, बुड्ढी कितनी ugly लग रही है, क्या हो गया है इसको अपना ख्याल रखना चाहिए, कुछ तो कर सकती है, and all of that is also happening. So I don't know. I feel like right now, women who are aging are on a lose-lose battle. That both ways they are losing the battle. If we can somehow develop the eyes that, in a world where we have no guarantees of waking up in the morning, a person is getting to grow old, and we can actually start to from, till a certain age we should give importance to beauty, after which we should give importance to wisdom and experience. And if we can start to look at people's wrinkles as the wise wisdom and experience in their life, then I feel like that can change our entire society, and this constant need to keep on keeping up to looking like a 25-year-old won't stay. I really hope and pray that I don't go ahead and do any of those extra plasticky things, and that I stay as natural as I can be, Poonam, how to deal with infidelity? Divorce is not an option because of daughter's marriageable age. Poonam, today, the world we live in, I have a feeling that every second or third person is having an affair. I feel like the world has really opened up. Earlier on, to have an affair was a lot of effort. Now, thanks to phones and the kind of availability, it's not so difficult. So how to deal with it? Make yourself so amazing that you live in a place of choice. Okay, right now your daughter is marriageable age, but when she gets married, then do you have a choice? And if you have a choice, then will you be able to execute that choice? Can you get yourself ready for after her marriage? Can you have your own bedroom? There are so many options today. It's not necessary you have to go for divorce. Separation is an option. If separation is not an option, living in separate bedrooms is an option. Okay, the whole point I normally talk about now in infidelity is that when you catch him, is he regretful or is he pompous about it? Is he like, does he blame you that he had an affair because you were whatever you were? Then you know that he has no regret and he's going to continue to do the same. Or does he go into deep regret and has been apologizing, has stopped doing those things, but you are not able to forgive? So I feel like we have to always explore when the person gets caught how they behave. And according to their behavior, we have to create our new life. If they are apologetic, it's a very different conversation. If they are not apologetic, if they are, I am going to do what I do, kar le tujhe jo karna hai, then you know you need to build yourself. Okay? So while the day your daughter gets married, at least that day I want you to know what is going to be your plan. Because remember that all of us deserve to be with people who love us. And so I would love for you to at least start to love yourself in the meantime. Can you become the best version of yourself? Can you go and do things to make yourself feel good about who you are? A lot of times what happens when somebody cheats on us is that we feel deeply rejected, like as if something was missing in us. And I don't want you to start to at any point change the blame onto yourself in case that's happening. And I'm looking at all the aspects because it's a general forum I'm answering in. If I could personally speak to you, of course, I would be able to execute or create the perfect plan for you. But for now, look at how can you make yourself stronger. Anytime lessons like this come into our life, God is saying, get ready. Get ready that you know what, I will first give you a whisper, and if you don't listen, I will give you a pinch, and if you don't listen, I'll give you a slap, and if you don't listen, I will throw a bomb at you, and if you don't listen, I'll throw a volcano at you. So God has to make sure we grow from incidents like this. Whether it is growing in acceptance or growing in standing up for ourselves or growing in our strength or growing in financials, I don't know what you need. What I know is God has given you an opportunity where He's shaken up your life. What are you going to do about it? If you're going to go back to being the same old person that you were, nothing will change, right? So you need to come up with, okay, what are the lessons I can take from this? I can't change him, but you know who I can change is me. Can I become more gorgeous? Can I become more amazing? Can I start having my own career? Can I start earning my own money? I don't know what it is that you need, and I can tell you one of the reasons I worked really hard in the beginning of my marriage is that if ever a day comes where my husband is not loyal to me, I don't want to continue to stay with him. And I said, I know I will compromise because of the economics, and I don't want to, for the sake of money, be in this house. That will be deep disrespect to my own self. I would like to leave if someone doesn't want to be with me. You know, and therefore, one of the reasons why I want every woman to be financially free is this. That the day it happens, and I'm not saying it's going to happen to everybody, but you know what? The more prepared you are, the lesser the chances of it happening. So if you don't want it to happen again, Poonam, unless it's already continuing, I have no idea, then at least grow yourself to become that independent, gorgeous, amazing woman that he should feel bad when you walk out. Something like that. All right, it's 11:01. Oh my God, I crossed the time. Poonam, I really hope you get some help, sweetheart. God bless you, darling. Never easy handling infidelity. It is the biggest break of trust. A person that we've trusted our whole life with, when they betray us like this, it is very, very hard. Having said that, it is now happening so rapidly that we have to start to have a full formula around a pre-plan of battle कि अगर मेरे साथ ये होगा तो मैं क्या करूंगी. Each woman should know कि अगर मेरे साथ ये हुआ तो मैंने क्या करना है. हमने इसको इतना casually छोड़ दिया है कि नहीं होगा मेरे साथ. अरे प्लीज ऐसे मत सोचो, बल्कि prepare for the worst, hope for the best is I think a much better way of operating in this energy. Yeah.